Catch More Fish, Trout and Rivers, Part 4, Landing. Landing a fish on a fly rod in a fast-flowing river is tough. You need to have an understanding of your gear's capabilities. For example, how much pressure can I put on the tippet, how to leverage the flex of the rod, how smooth is my reel, how strong are my knots, do I have quality hooks, and the list goes on. The fight starts with the hook set. You're typically going to want to set downstream. That is because the fish's head is normally facing the current. How much business you set with will depend on the amount of line you have out. Also, how much of that line is below the surface of the water. If you are fishing under 10 feet of line, past the tip of the rod, a slight raise will do the trick. When the fly is deeper or you have more line out, then a full arm motion is required. The purpose is to try to eliminate as much of the slack as possible between you and the fish. Moving on, now you can feel the fish on the end of your line. The next step is line management. This is a critical time in the fight. This is when many anglers will try to go for the reel. Don't do that. With your rod hand, you should be controlling the tension with your index or middle finger, and you should use your offhand to retrieve. The offhand should be retrieving the line beneath the rod hand and should never go above the rod hand. Always maintain a point of contact with the line, alternating rod hand and offhand. A smaller fish is easier to manage, and you can just horse it in, depending on your gear. A larger fish will try some evasive maneuvers. This could be heading for structure, jumping, heading downstream, charging right at you, or a combination of the like. This is when river knowledge is important, and if you are fishing with a guide, they're going to coach you through the fight, and you can remain relatively stationary. However, if you are alone, you're going to have to dance. When the fish's head is going into the current, this is good. You can use your rod pressure coupled with the current to control the fight. Control of the head is key. At some point, a big fish will want to get in the current and take you downstream. You have to follow the fish. When you are waiting, this can be tricky, and applying side pressure is important. Stay calm, lower the rod, apply the pressure to the side where you want to guide the fish. While you are doing all that with the rod and the fish, you have to position yourself under the fish. So if you are applying the pressure across your body and you are right-handed, you need to take small steps down and to the right because the rod pressure is going to the left. The goal is to get under the fish. The iconic reaching for the fish with the rod fully outstretched over the head is a pretty dramatic move. Sometimes that is necessary, but you should strive to be in a little more control. You want to guide the fish into the net. That means having the net in position and sliding the fish in. Don't stab at the fish. The net also needs to be positioned well. I like to have mine near my butt with a magnet attachment so that the handle can be reached by sliding my hand on the small of my back. The net also needs to be attached securely. You might have to drop it in the middle of the fight. Tenkara anglers are masters at landing fish. They have no line to give and rely on the angle of the rod to regulate the pressure and control the fight. Try Tenkara or check out someone landing a big fish on Tenkara gear. It will up your trout game.